everyone. I am Donna. This is my husband, Brian. We decided a couple months ago that we were going to do a podcast on men's mental health awareness. We decided this because that's something that Brian deals with on a daily basis. He has panic disorder, anxiety, and depression. So we decided to bring some awareness to it to kind of break the stigma. We're just giving his story, how he handles things and how he deals with stuff. None of it's medical. It's just our opinions. This is not geared towards children. It's a lot of adult content, and his language can sometimes get a little on the colorful side. If you're easily offended, you might not want to watch this. But if you do enjoy it, please subscribe. And if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comments.
And yes, the email is in all the descriptions now. I've learned how to copy and paste.
It was a challenge, but he managed to get it down.
Nailed it.
So tonight's episode, we're going to talk about some of the things that, because of the panic disorder and the anxiety, that he hasn't been able to see completely through.
Mainly, or pretty much just the adult schooling, or
Right, we're going to do education.
After high school, or whatever that would be. I don't know.
There have been a couple programs that he started, and the anxiety just took over where he couldn't continue them. One of the things that I say about him all the time, and he agrees with me for the most part, is he's limited in self-confidence in a lot of areas. He just, the self-confidence isn't there. And once he gets that little doubt in his mind, a lot of times he's done, especially if it's something that he hasn't done already.
Yeah.
So I can speak on the last 10 years.
Well, that's pretty much been all the attempts at...
Okay.
What do they call it? Something education? Like, further? No. What's the hell?
Continuing education.
Continuing education. Whatever.
He's tried a gunsmithing class.
Well, I never actually finished it, so I guess...
We're just going to go with adult education, okay? He tried a gunsmithing class. It was all... And
we could probably start out with, like, the art ones, because they were the shortest terms, and then go gunsmithing, and then to the audio.
So I want to backtrack a little. They've all been online, which, if you haven't done an online class before, it can be very complicated, very tricky. There's a few things that if you're going to do an online class that you need to be able to do. A, you have to have very good time management. If you do not have good time management, it's not going to work. That wasn't his issue.
Yeah, I was going to say I was fine with that.
His issue was when they would give him an assignment that he didn't think he could master. He would start getting doubt.
Or just had no clue how to do it.
Or with the gunsmithing, it got boring.
Yeah, I guess we can start with the gunsmithing and then go back to the art ones.
Yeah, I mean, I don't... What art classes did you take?
I don't know that I actually got fully into them.
Yeah.
But the gunsmithing was... I don't remember the name of the school or the class or
Penn
whatever.
Foster.
No. Penn Foster?
Mm-hmm.
No, it wasn't that.
I thought that was through Penn Foster.
Mm-mm. It was some company out west or whatever, but all they did was send you a thick-ass book that was all in black and white. And most of the guns, I think, were from, like, the Civil War. I don't know if they had any modern real guns in there. Me personally, I don't need to work on a musket. I wanted to learn how to work on modern firearms.
Now, was it a building program? Like, after you finished this course, you went to another course?
No. Apparently, everything that was in that book was the entire course.
Okay.
And then what it would do is, so there was two books. One was a list of, like, every firearm that's ever been made.
Okay.
And then the other book was this 4-inch thick black and white, you know. And then it would refer you to their YouTube where you would watch the videos. And that was it.
So you had no interaction with a instructor at all?
No.
Okay.
So, like, I don't even know where those books are, to be honest with you. They're probably packed away somewhere. I have them somewhere. I don't know where.
So this would be 100% self-paced?
Yeah, and that's not how it was portrayed. It was like, learn gunsmithing from the top gunsmiths and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, oh, well, I could have looked it up on YouTube for free and skipped giving you $400 or $500. Which then you research it and you find out that there really are no good gunsmithing schools. They're all kind of that same YouTube-based, here's a book, good luck. The only way you're really going to learn it is if you found a legitimate gunsmith and they were willing to bring you on and teach you.
Like as an apprentice, and then work your way up.
Yeah. So that lasted about a week. And I was like, this is just garbage. Like, I could have just done this for free on YouTube, and there's no structure whatsoever, which I don't need to be 100% structured, but there's got to be something. There's got to be some deadlines. There's got to be a way for me to reach out and go, hey, I don't understand this.
I think you would do better with, if you're going to do an online class, I think you'd do better if you were able to do one where you had to, like a teacher came on and lectured you and you could type in the chat a question right then and there.
Right.
Because if you have a question, you can't get that question answered within a relatively short time. Like when I say relatively short, I'm talking like 20 minutes for him. You'll end up.
Yeah, if I send somebody a message or an email and it takes a day or two, I'm fucking pissed.
Or you check out.
Yeah. I need that immediate, like, what's the problem? Here's the solution. Good. Move on to the next thing. I don't want to sit around waiting. The art stuff was various art schools that claimed to be 100% online. Now, one of them was a local county program. Didn't get to the point of paying for it, but got to a certain point and they were like, at least they said, you know, you got to come in like for these classes and an hour for this one. And I'm like, no, it said virtual. Well, it's a hybrid. It's like, well, then put hybrid. So then I can just skip you and go on to the next one.
Right.
So that was like, okay, no money spent. Find another one. I must have looked through, I don't know, dozens, and none of them were, they were either that same YouTube-based crap, which what do I need you for? I can just YouTube the stuff myself and watch it for free.
Right.
It's not like they send you a thing to unlock the videos. They're right there on YouTube. There were a few different ones. None of them got to the point where I spent any money. I would figure out by researching or, you know, looking up on Reddit or reviews or whatever to find out exactly what it was and was it worth it. And a lot of them just were, to me, scams. It was just send in your $2,000 or your 500 or your 800, or you had to pay per class. So you started out with introductory to art. I don't need that.
So, okay, I get what you're saying where you don't need it, but if it's building up to a degree.
No, I understand. But
that's why it's kind of like people that go into.
Well, these weren't degree programs. These were certificates.
Oh, okay.
So, again, it was kind of on your own, do everything at your own pace, which if you leave me to do everything on my own pace, it's probably not going to get done. Which is a flaw of mine. And, you know, I've been trying to fix it for years and doesn't seem to really be going anywhere. But it was just that, okay, here's a pencil. It's like I have all the different pencils you could possibly think of. I have all the different erasers, blenders. I have all of that. I know how to use all of it. So I could skip that. Okay, and the second one is like, you know.
So if you could skip that, why didn't you just take the test and test out of it?
Well, you didn't even take a test. There was no test.
Was there an end of the term assignment that you had to hand in?
No.
So then how do they know that you did it?
You don't. That's the scam. You just pay for that course.
See, I'm not familiar with programs like that, and I've done online for years.
It was on that, I think it's called Sarah or something like that. I'm not 100% sure, but they put up, some of them are legitimate, like actual colleges and programs and stuff like that.
Oh, no, you're talking about...
These are ones where you can just pick up a course and a person...
I was going to say Concentra, but it's not that.
I'm pretty sure it's Sarah, like UCERA, something like that.
I'm just looking it up real quick.
It's like an app you download, and you can go on there and find any... They have like free courses and they have paid courses.
No, that's
I think people put them up. Maybe it's not even a college that puts them up. Just type in UCERA.
I did. Nothing came up.
My memory sucks, and it's been so long.
Coursera. Now, I will tell you, I've taken classes on Coursera.
There are legitimate stuff on there, but there's other ones where people can just put their own courses up there. And that one was, okay, don't take that one. Here's the next one. Types of paper. Okay, I don't need that. And it just kept, I would have had to get to like block 8 or 9 or whatever to get to anything that was going to be of any use to me whatsoever, because I don't know. I'm not a professional, I guess, but I'm not a novice. I'm not a beginner. I would say I'm either intermediate or advanced. I'm probably advanced at this point. So all that other crap was just, I'm like, I'm not pissing away all that money to get there. It's just, that wasn't for me. Now I looked into a few colleges here in Philadelphia. But again, you either needed to have like an extensive portfolio. I forget how many like publications. Like you needed all of this shit, and I was just like, if I got all that, what the fuck do I need you for? Like if I've already been published and my artwork's gotten awards or accolades or whatever, what the hell do I need you for?
I'm going to be honest with you, because there's kids in high school that get published and get accolades, and they're going on to art school, depending the type of art school you're going to.
But I'm at the time in my late 40s or whatever it was, and I've been doing it for 30 some years.
I have that, but the admissions practice is still the admissions practice. I don't necessarily agree with it, and that's coming from an educator.
I think what they should do is take a look at your work and see where you're at. And
they did. That's why they were asking for your portfolio.
Yeah, but you still needed all this other stuff, and you were still going to start out with Art 101.
So there, because you're getting degrees, that's the colleges in the city. But most of the time, and I'm only saying this because I went through it when I went back for my master's, they'll say you need A, B, C, D, and E. Once you do your application process and you talk to whoever, they look at what you've already had, what you're coming in with, and you might be able to skip A, B, C. You'll get they're called life credits that'll go into place for those classes.
Okay.
But here's the problem. It doesn't say that on their website, because they have to look at everybody as they're coming in with nothing. So when you do, like, when I went for the doctorate this time, I got I want to say 16 credits rolled from my master's over. Which to me was like, all right, well, I already have a master's. Why are you rolling another 16 credits over? So it would be the same thing for you.
Well, and that's another issue that I have is that they want the schools that now a lot of the schools didn't offer programs that I wanted. Like there was your basic art, and you were going to learn photography, sculpture, printmaking, and I'm like, who the fuck does printmaking anymore?
I'm sorry, but isn't that what your brother did?
30 years ago.
Yeah,
But
I just thought it was funny.
It was computer. It wasn't like the printing press where you're like wiping ink on it. Like
that'd be pretty cool, though.
There's all these things, and I'm like, okay, I just want to focus on fine art, painting, drawing. I have no interest in doing sculptures. I have no interest in printmaking. What was some of the others? There was other things that I just like, clay models or CG. A lot of it is CGI. It is almost impossible to find a legitimate art school that isn't geared towards computer generated images and
unfortunately.
And I know that's the wave of the future.
Yeah, it's moving with the time, and you're still in that.
I don't want to learn it. I want to learn some of the, oil painting, acrylic, watercolor, maybe some advanced techniques. Maybe there's some things that I don't know. Well, obviously, there's a lot of shit that I don't know. But, and then the other problem was SATs. Well, I have a GED. What's your grade point average? How the hell I don't know. Like, I'm not your average age student coming into those types of colleges, even though they're virtual 100%, and they'll send you the supplies or you have to go get them yourself, which most of them I have, and I don't need them.
I will say, going back to your transcripts and your SATs, that's not just art, that's any
right.
And here's the thing. As an adult student, I don't think they should put everybody in the same category for that. Especially with the SATs.
Do an aptitude test.
Well, a lot of them you still have to take the test coming in, but they still want the SATs. So I know when I went back for nursing, I applied to 2 local schools. One wanted my transcripts, no problem. They both wanted them, sent them, no problem. The one school asked for the SATs. Well, when I graduated, it was 6 and 6 for the SAT, so your top score would have been 1,200. Okay?
I don't know anything about the SAT.
So when I submitted them, she was like, well, that's really low considering it's based on either 1,600 or 2,400 now. And I go, whoa. I said, no, when I went, that's not what it was based on.
Right.
Well, what are we supposed to do? Figure it out. You can't penalize me because they changed the test.
Figure out what it would be in today's numbers.
So
I don't think it's that hard.
It was, so needless to say, I picked the other school. But when an adult student comes in, I think you need to look at each individual student.
Well, I also think with like the art stuff, I understand if you're going for your bachelor's in art history or whatever, but that's not what I was doing because I don't want to teach. I would be a horrible teacher, and there'd be a lot of crappy artists out there if I was.
I'm not sure why I say that, but okay.
I'm just a horrible teacher.
You don't have patience.
I don't have patience, and I assume if I know it, everybody else knows it.
Really?
I just assume that if I know how to do it, everybody should, because I don't think that I don't know what the word is.
All right, so
I don't think I'm any better or different than somebody when it comes to that stuff. And I figured because I'm self-taught that if I know something, I mean, you can ask my daughters or other people that I've tried to teach them stuff. Now, I might be able to do it now because I've chilled out. But before it was like, with them riding their bikes. Well, ride your fucking bike. Well, I can't help it if you keep falling over. I don't know. You got horrible balance. I know how to do it.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
But that was my attitude for the longest time. If I know how to do it, everybody should. And not because I just felt like it was that easy. So everybody should know how to do it.
Did you have the same mindset when somebody was trying to explain something to you that you weren't getting?
That I should know how to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why we talked about I had so much trouble with the guitar that I thought I should already know how to do that, even though I had never done it. Oh, I didn't say it's logical, rational.
No, that I get. I was just wondering if.
Oh no, yeah, I have that same thing. Like, why can't I do those?
Well, it's not that. I guess my question would be, how would you like it if somebody said to you, "Well, you should already know it. I know it."
I'd probably agree with them.
Okay, that's kind of what I was going with. But I mean, with art school, it's a little different though. Because why did you want to go?
Okay, so I have some weaknesses in my. I don't know what you call it.
Talent.
No, thank you though. Self-esteem will be the next episode.
No, are you talking about like weaknesses in your art?
No, I have some spots that I can't. Okay, so I'm not what you would call a traditional artist. I can't sit down, look at something, and draw it, like going and sitting outside and drawing a landscape. I can't do it.
Could you if there was a skull in the landscape?
A what?
A skull.
No.
The reason why I'm asking is, do you have to like what you're drawing?
No, because
Okay.
if you put a skull right there and I tried to draw it, I couldn't do it. If
Okay.
I just sit down and sketch it on paper from my mind, I can do it.
Okay. So you're not a visual artist. Like you can't draw from so if they put like a naked girl in the room, you wouldn't be able to draw her.
No.
Okay.
And I could never do that.
Okay.
Like, I've done still lifes, and they've come out okay. Again, that's probably something if I just sat there and made up still lifes and just kept doing it, I would get better over time.
What about your railroad tie?
No, that was... Okay, so here's how I had learned with colored pencil, graphite, whatever. So there's different methods as far as getting that image onto your finished paper.
Okay.
So you have, and it's called the circle of fifths. I don't know how it works. The other one is a grid method. So what you would do is you would draw, say, a grid onto your paper in very light pencil, 1-inch squares over the whole thing, however big you're going to do it. And then you'll take that image, you'll take whatever you're going to draw, say it's, I don't know, your printer, take a picture of it, put a grid over it in 1-inch squares. So everywhere that square is, you're going to draw what's in that square.
Okay.
So when you're done, there's the image, if you did it correctly.
So you just said you wouldn't need to know intro to art and your basics, but isn't the circle of fifths part of your basic art?
No, that's more advanced.
Okay.
Intro is, this is a pencil.
Okay.
Here's how to hold a pencil. This is paper. This is an eraser.
Okay.
All that, That's why I want to get into the more advanced. Now, the other method, which in the beginning, everybody was like, well, that's cheating, is tracing. All my portraits and most of my still lifes are all where I will take a picture of the still life or somebody sends me a picture of the portrait. I will make a black and white version of it, and then I will trace out all the lines and then transfer that over to my paper, and that is for accuracy.
Is that really cheating, or
No, it's
because you're
not.
not doing all the little fine indents of like all the creases in their face?
But your traditional artists, your hardcore people that would sit there and just look and spend 45 hours, where I can do it in 2.
okay.
And when it comes to the art world, now you have to be able to spit stuff out fast. Because that portrait that I was drawing and selling for 50, 100, $200, I can't spend 45 hours on it.
Right.
And sell it for that amount of money. Because,
But everything evolves. Tattooing used to be freehand. They used to.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
And now what do? They put on
They draw something up on Procreate on their iPad, and then
they stencil it, and they put the stencil on you. And so, things have all changed.
And I still have stuff that I sit and draw. You talked about your son, the one that I gave your son. Mm-hmm. That's all just freehand. None of that's sketched, stenciled, transferred, or whatever. Like, that's actually on, it doesn't look like it, but it was white paper that was stained with tea. So I took various darknesses of tea and would stain the paper to get that effect on it.
That's cool.
And then went back in with graphite or markers or whatever, colored pencil, and did that drawing. But anyway, so I would like to be able to learn more of just what they call plein air painting, where you just, you open up your stuff, you sit, and you paint whatever is sitting there. And you have to do it quick, because once the sun moves or goes down,
the whole painting's done.
By the time you start and you finished, your shadows and your light sources are all over the place. Composition, just to become more of like, and I don't want to do landscapes. I'll do them, but it's not what my main goal is. I like dark art, horror stuff, biomechanical, creepy, somewhat offensive art. And if I can design my own stuff without using AI or CGI or whatever, that's what I would like to be able to do, especially on large projects. Now, what I would still do is I would draw up that piece in maybe this big and then put it on the projector and project that image onto however big of a surface I'm going to do it, sketch it out, paint it, and go from there.
Does that change the picture, though?
What do you mean?
If you're going from something like this big to something like...
As long as you keep the ratio the same.
Okay.
It just enlarges it to the same ratio.
So I get everything you're explaining, I get with the art schools. And again, you're picking an area that's very difficult to do online.
Right. But there are a lot that say you hear, but then when you see it, it's like, okay, that's not it.
Well, stop and think about it. Would you ever purchase a piece of art through a computer without actually seeing it up close and personal in person?
Yeah, I have.
I'm not, all right, so let me rephrase that. Like,
I've bought Thomas Kincaid stuff.
Okay, I was just going to say, I'm not saying stuff that's, I don't want to say mass produced, but would you, if a person did a painting of, okay, I'm a huge Disney fan. If a person did a painting, an original of the castle, would you purchase it online without seeing it in person to see if there's any flaws in it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think a lot of people would, and I think that's one of the reasons why a lot of these art schools...
No, a lot of people do. There's a lot of these guys that I follow on Instagram that they paint whatever it is, and it's sold. You know, they sell this stuff like crazy.
And everything's done online.
Oh, what do you mean everything?
Oh, there's like nobody actually lays hands on the picture.
No, that they have like a painting that's 4 foot by 3 foot that they
Okay.
painted, and you'll see them painting it online, and then it goes onto their online store.
Okay. Yeah.
They don't have a brick and mortar art gallery,
I guess
and people buy those all the time.
I guess my thing would be, if there's something off on your art, how is your professor supposed to say this should be like this, because they're looking at an image on a computer?
No, I understand that part.
Yeah.
But when you're doing your own art, and especially the style that I'm going to do, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to be doing it on canvas or illustration board or whatever,
Right.
and it's going to get sold on a website. Nobody's going to walk in, but there's going to be multiple pictures of it, close-ups, back, So
That I get. I'm just saying, as an instructor, I would have to
right, and
Yeah.
I get that part. It's not like I'm pissed off about it. Like,
Right.
why can't? But for me, I just can't do the in-class stuff.
Now, he did look into going to another school for, I guess it was almost like audio engineering.
That's exactly what it was.
And
It was okay, so I looked into it, and apparently, it had gotten a lot of really good reviews, and this was a legit 4-year school.
yeah, it was a 4-year school, would have been a bachelor's.
And they send you out, iPads or MacBook Pros, or I don't know what it is.
After you hit a certain,
Yeah.
after you go through so far.
All this engineering equipment, recording equipment, sound effect, all this stuff. And basically a couple of careers that you could do would be doing sound effects for gaming, TV, movies. You could do music recording for bands, stuff like that. Any kind of audio recording. So if somebody had, like, say, a podcast, I would be able to do the audio so much better by now. And if I would have stayed with it, I think I'd be done. Yeah, I would. Yeah, because it was only like 2.5, 3 years to get your bachelor's, because it was around the clock.
Right. And I'll be honest, he was extremely excited about it. He did the first class.
And I want to say it was psychology.
No, was it psychology or was it communication?
I remember having to. So I mean, and everything was like a normal online call, or because you could actually go to this school. It's down in Florida, and they have a campus and all that. So
I don't remember the class you took.
yeah, I know the one. I'm trying to think of some of the papers that I had submitted and stuff like that. And again, you didn't have to watch the class live. You could, 5 minutes after the class was over, you could watch the recorded version. But most of them I watched live because of the time of day, and they would just want you to check in, say hi or whatever, and then the professor would go through his thing. And most of them are about an hour, maybe hour and a half at the most. But I don't even think they were that long. And then there was TED Talks that you had to watch.
Now, see, I'm sorry. I love TED Talks. A lot of people that have been in school hated them. I
didn't have a problem with it. I mean, some were interesting. Some were like, I was trying to keep myself awake. But I'm trying to think. I can remember the one class or the one assignment where we had to pick a movie that we had never seen. And you had to turn the volume off, watch 10 minutes of it, and then describe that 10 minutes and see how accurate you were. Now, I'm sure a lot of people just left the sound on, watched it, and nailed it perfectly. But I actually did it, and I did the movie The Proposal. Mm-hmm. Ryan Reynolds and
Sandra Bullock.
Yeah.
And Betty White.
There was some office scene, so I just
In the beginning.
I didn't know anything about it, so I just okay, here. shut the video or shut the sound off, watched it for 10 minutes, wrote my paper, and then went back, submitted it, and then went back and watched it. And I got an A, and he thought like I nailed it, and from their body language and all that stuff. I can't really remember any of the, and this was like a 4-week class.
It would have been 6 or 8 weeks.
I don't think so. Maybe it was.
Yeah.
It was probably closer to 6.
Yeah, but I think it was, yeah, probably.
But I mean, the assignments for that class, I didn't feel too stressed.
His next class.
I was able to, you had to, before Sunday at like midnight, you had to at least 1 post and 2 replies to other people's posts.
And that's common on all online schooling until
Just to make sure you're engaged and you're not dicking around. I'm trying to remember any other assignments, and I literally cannot remember any of them.
I know he did the first class. It was fine. Started the second class.
I don't even remember what it was. It could have been like English comp or something. Honestly, I think that's what it was.
The problem was he had to work in a group and do something.
Oh, yeah. They had to do it with 2 other people.
Yeah, and then they had to present, and
That lasted about a week.
his
And
mind just...
the panic kicked in, completely overwhelmed, because I'm dealing with 20-something-year-olds, and I'm completely lost.
Now, why do you assume that you're dealing with 20-some-year-olds?
Because I knew who my classmates were.
You were able to see them, and okay. So, I mean,
Yeah, there's like a list of here's your classmates for this. Now they would change from class to class depending on where people were. So people that were in that first one weren't in the second,
right?
But they were all like everybody was in their early 20s to maybe late 20s. Like I was the complete anomaly. Not that was that big of a deal.
That's how it was when I was in nursing school.
But it just, and I was stressing a little with the first class, not bad, but I had to ask you like, what the hell do I do with this? Now, again, I've said this in past episodes, my English comp is weak. If I have to write out a paper, thanks to Microsoft Word or
No, Perla.
If it wasn't for that, they would have been like, yeah, you need to go to some fucking basic English class, go back to 5th grade or something because you suck.
I will tell you right now, it's gotten me through my associates, my bachelor's, my master's, and it's getting me through my doctorate.
Yeah, I don't know where to add punctuation. I don't know where to put the period. I don't know how to use there, and there. And people are going to be like, you're 56 and don't know how to use it.
It's not even that.
It's not so much that I don't know how to use it. I just don't care. So everything gets spelled THERE. I don't give a shit about the rest.
I think my issue was the references. Like when you had to do references, we didn't do references for years, and then it was, are they doing APA? Are they doing? And it's like,
And you had to click on the link and add in the reference. To
yeah,
anything and everything that you looked at, that has to go in there.
yeah. So I mean,
That stuff started to overwhelm me because I was just, and I constantly was contacting you like, oh, what the fuck is this? Like, I don't know what to do here. And again, I wish I would have, well, one, I wish I would have picked a different thing because I don't know that the audio thing was more or less, I can record guitar at home. I can maybe get into doing stuff with locals as far as like they need some gaming background sounds and stuff like that, and maybe I can do that. I'm like, it's not, later on I'm like, that wouldn't have been a career. It would have been a waste of $40,000.
So,
So when the second one kicked in, it wasn't even a week, and I was just like, I can't do this.
if
Like,
you could pick something to go to school for now, what would it be?
art. That's my only. I tried to get into 2 music schools for guitar, and I found this completely fucking ridiculous. So Berkeley is one of them, which is the main music school in the country. You have to know so much shit on guitar that I found it like, why the fuck do I need you if I already know how to do all this? Like, they wanted like 4 videos of you doing various scales and all of this advanced, or at least what I think's advanced, guitar playing. And then they want like the English, the math, all that stuff to be up to a certain level. And I'm like, for playing guitar?
It's, again, you're getting a degree.
But then I found out the amount of people that actually went there that are in music is like 5
A lot of them probably do more like producing, writing.
behind the scenes
Yeah.
and stuff like that. I know a couple people that went there, graduated, play guitar, but they are strictly more of a classical
And
and
that's
jazz type guitar thing. And I was like, yeah, no.
so.
And then I found another one, but they wanted the same thing. So I was like, okay, that's out.
I think what people have to understand when it comes to schooling, and I'm not a fan of this, but unless you're going into something pretty generic, you have to have certain criteria to get in.
Well, I do understand that because of state funding or the federal government, whatever, you have to have this level, so many Englishes, so many maths, so many histories, so many sciences.
No, that's not what I
besides
meant.
your core classes.
No, that's not what I meant. Like you were saying, you needed to be able to send in videos of on guitar. You want to get into a nursing program, and people do not understand this. And I try my hardest to explain it to people. I love when someone goes, "Oh, I'm going to Delaware County for nursing." Did you get in yet? Or are you doing your prereqs to apply for the nursing program? Because they may have 100 people apply, 25 might get in. You also have to take a test prior to getting into the program. And they either use a HESI test or I don't know what other.
Now, that test, is that to make sure that you're going to be able to cut the mustard?
Pretty much. Because,
Like, if they don't think you have it, then
yeah,
where are you supposed to learn it if you don't have it?
it's not nursing stuff, though. It's
basic education.
yeah, it's like, okay.
Well, I mean, I don't have a problem with that because certain fields, I have a little bit of a problem with it in art, but I understand it because they're a degree program.
And these guys are going into like classical music
Right.
and
But nursing and a lot of other fields, yeah, you need to know a lot of different shit.
I'll give you an example. Look at Juilliard.
Well, you have to be a fucking prodigy or know somebody to get in that school.
But and look at some of the people that have gone to Juilliard.
I don't know anybody.
Yes, you do. Hold on. Oh my God. Because when I heard that they went to Juilliard, I was shocked.
Like an actor, a musician?
Yeah, it was an actor. And I heard he went to Juilliard, and I was floored because he doesn't do.
Is that Kevin Bacon or something? Well, I'm sure there's a lot of them that. But again, you have to show them that you're some kind, that you got something special. Like they're not going to take the time to develop you from nothing. You better have something, or they're not going to waste their time, or how they see it.
Yeah, it's.
And that Berkeley School of Music seems to be the same way. You better already have like 25% of what, of that skill level, or they're not going to waste their time on the other 75. Like, which I don't understand. Like, it's like, go get a guitar instructor and spend a couple years and then come back. And it's like, well, if I spend a couple years and I get to that point, I don't need you anymore. I can continue to get better on my own.
So, right.
Well, not me personally, but most people.
No, I agree.
But like art, I was trying to find, and this was me more than the schools. I was trying to find, like, this is what I want to do. Well, you have to do all this. Well, I don't want to do all that. I just want to do this. And obviously, that's not the way it works. Like, can we skip all the... Like, I don't even care about the degree, to be honest with you.
It was Val Kilmore.
Okay. So I don't even care about the degree so much. I just want to learn it. You can keep the fucking piece of paper and all of that shit. I just want the knowledge, and I want to be able to do it when I'm done. It would help out with the airbrushing and the freehand stuff and a lot of other art. But
if you're not worried about the degree, then there's other avenues to go.
Yeah, there's certificate programs.
That's not what I meant, but...
Well, what do you mean?
I meant finding an artist that follows your same whatever and see if they would mentor you.
Online?
Yeah. If you're not worried about the degree...
I wouldn't even know where to start.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not worried about the degree...
Because most artists don't have the time to be sitting there teaching somebody because they're busy doing their art.
I would have agreed 20 years ago, but I think now it's more like everything's on YouTube. So for them just to send you something that they...
Well, that's what I don't want.
No, that's what I'm saying. For them to send you a video of them teaching you how to do it rather than being... Or do you want to do it live with them?
Yeah, I don't want to... I don't want to... I can watch a video. I can look... Like, I can type in right now and go, okay, I want to learn composition. And I could watch 100 different people doing various ways of composition.
Right.
Not that I don't know how to do it, but I'm just picking that topic.
Right.
So me finding somebody that's going to send me, I can look that shit up. I can look up everything.
So you want somebody who's going to teach you live?
I want something semi-structured.
Okay.
You know, I want something... Doesn't have to be so much live, but I want access to somebody if I have a question. I don't want it to be just a dead YouTube channel.
Right.
That I can message it all I want or comment and you never get a response.
No, I get that.
Because if I don't know, like at this point in my life, especially like with guitar, I have a lot of trouble. If I don't know how to do it and I can't figure it out in the first 10 minutes, I'm going to need somebody to show me. And once somebody shows me, that's it. I've got it. But I don't know why. And I know people are going to be like, well, if you're watching a video, they show you. It's just not how I learn.
A lot of people learn hands-on, not by a video. And I mean, so yeah, I get that. We can look into it. But I mean...
Yeah, it would be nice to have something where... You know, once a week you met with them, went over this, that, and then you had the rest, almost like a guitar instructor. Here's what you're going to do this week. So you have these assignments that have to be done by the next week. Turn them in. You know, you can take a picture, send it, scan it, send it, whatever. They critique it. Here's what you need to work on. Let's do this for another week.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. You know, if I could find something like that that's geared towards my kind of art as well, like if somebody's open to not doing flowers, portraits, animals, landscapes, you know, all the stuff that if you've ever entered an art contest, it better be one of them or it's not even getting, I don't care how good it is, it's not even getting any consideration.
No, I get that. And like I said, yeah, I mean, we can look into it. But I guess the biggest takeaway from this would be understand that people that have the anxiety and the panic disorder, that it doesn't mean they don't have goals. It just means reaching their goals, you may have to take a different approach. So with him with school, it would have to be a different approach.
And I don't even know if there is that approach available.
Yeah, I mean, but, and I think the other part is you have to be vulnerable to let somebody know so maybe they can help gear that approach so it does work for you.
Yeah, I mean, and my other problem, which we've talked about, is when something doesn't work a couple of times or I get shot down a couple of times, there's not going to be a third or fourth.
You just throw the towel in.
I'm just done. I'm just never going to learn that one. Oh, well. But that is something that I don't think would take a lot. I just think I need to find the right person and or schooling course or whatever that could see what I can do and go, okay, here, like they can see your weaknesses, or here's what I can do, here's what I want to do, and this is my end goal, and somehow put that together. I don't know.
Anyone who knows me is going to find this rather amusing, but I had to take an art class when I was going for my BSN. It was an elective, but anyway, my professor, she's an artist. She used to teach at an art school in Philly. She also taught adjunct at my school. And she is some bigwig at a place down in Delaware. I remember, now this is going back years ago because it was when I was in school for nursing. So I remember her saying, say if we had 30 kids in the class, that she expects 20-some not to be able to do the work, like not to be able to do the art, because most people aren't artists, but it's to put forth the effort. And anyone who knows me knows I suck as an artist.
You don't suck. You've just never done it. You didn't put that. You're the type of person that you could put the time in, and you would be fine.
I disagree with you on that one.
Okay.
I know myself.
Do you want to spend 3 months of, say, 4 to 5 hours a week of me teaching you and see what you look like at the end of that 3 or 4 months? Because I guarantee you, I'll have you draw something, and at the end of that 3 or 4 months, have you draw it again, and you'll go, oh, I can do it.
See, that would be great, except I made a promise that once I was done my doctorate, I wouldn't go back to school.
No, I'm talking about doing it now, so it'd be at the same time.
Oh yeah, just throw more stuff on me.
It's not that hard.
But I remember her saying that one of the things that she does on the side is that she works with artists where she does individual, I don't want to say lessons, but individual instruction. And I was like, oh, so like an art tutor? She's like, no, I am not an art tutor. She goes, no, I work with them to increase their artistic abilities. And I guess that's kind of what I'm talking about. You have to find somebody that would be like that would be willing. And she did. I had her on, do you remember what day of the week the propane fire was? The big one, the explosion.
At Scully's 20 years ago?
Yeah.
No, I don't remember it.
So that was the first day of my art class. That's why I asked.
There was just a fire a couple days ago. I don't remember what day it was.
I'm not sure. Oh, that fire. Anyway, but that's what we would have to look for. But just remember, people that are dealing with this kind of stuff, that their learning abilities might be different. And I'm not saying that they can't learn. It's the style in which it has to be approached to them because of other things. And this is coming from an educator. You line 5 people up, there's 5 different learning abilities. You have to teach 5 different ways.
Yeah, mine is it can't be left to myself to do it with no deadlines and work at your own pace, because I've tried that with various things and it never works out. And it also can't be you have to be here at this time for this amount of time. That like that. It's I need it to be almost, I guess, hybrid kind of like you have a week to get it done. Whatever you do in that week is up to you, but you have a week to get it done. I need a deadline, and I need a little bit of structure.
So you need an asynchronous program. Am I getting that evil look?
I think there's a Police song called Synchronicity, but
No.
I don't know what asynchronous
So
means.
you have synchronous and asynchronous. Synchronous is when you are online live with the teacher. Asynchronous is when the teacher will put a video up and they are available for questions, but you do not have to be in that live classroom with that teacher.
Right.
So you would need an asynchronous.
Yeah, and can we leave out the psychology, the English comp?
If you want to leave out the degree.
Yeah, I don't care about the degree.
All right, so we'll look into it.
I just want to make my art better. It may help with airbrushing, but I don't think so.
So what you want is
I want some more of the fine art part of it to be better.
So you don't want. I hate saying classes. You want more or less. You want somebody who does.
I'm going to put it like a guitar teacher, because I've had other teachers.
So you want art lessons. That's kind of what I was saying.
Where they go, what do you want to learn? Do you want to learn how to play guitar, or do you want to learn songs? And if you want to learn songs, what kind of songs? Do you want to learn palm muting? You want to learn chugging and alternate picking? Yeah, I want to learn that. I don't care about scales, or I don't care.
That's what I said. You want art lessons then, not classes.
So it's like I want to learn. I mean, I know most of the stuff, but where I want to get better at it. Light sources and perspective and composition.
Yeah, so we'll have to look into art lessons for you then, rather than art classes.
Freehand, like being able to draw from life. I guess that would be the best way to put it. To be able to I would love, like, there's people that can just sit down and you tell them to draw something and they whip it up. Or they'll sit on a bus and draw the person across from them.
I had a student, he graduated,
I would love
that.
to be able to do that. Just to be able to just sit down, whip that sketch out. It's not a finished drawing, but, you sketched it. It looks exactly like the person, whatever. I can't do that. It's not my thing. I never could. I always took myself and described it as like a human Xerox. I could look at something like an album cover or whatever and duplicate it, but to like a person or just something out of my own head. Like I pictured, I mean, you've seen this, where I'll picture something, I'll put it on a shirt, or I'll do something and I'll be like, that is not what I fucking had. Like, I have trouble getting whatever's in my mind on paper. So that's the area that I would like to be able to work on.
Yeah, so it would be art lessons. All right, we'll look into that. All right, everyone, keep in mind that always continue to try. And that's one thing that he's gotten a lot better at. He continues to try now rather than just throw the tail in completely. And I think that might be a little bit because I'm a little pushy, but that's okay.
A little.
Hey, All right, guys, until the next time, have a great night.